This is Chilling.
Ugandan musician Solome Basuuta is a soulful songbird whose melodious voice and heartfelt lyrics resonate with audiences far and beyond. And this has somehow made her a household name because she's really talented. Her voice is captivating, as if you're listening to an angel when she sings. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a mega superstar on Chilling. Good evening and welcome to the best of the life. More than ever, my name is Drago, and please stay tuned.
Let's remember those moments.
Everything you need to know about her is in her music. And the melodies and the heartfelt lyrics resonate with audiences far and wide. Singer and songwriter whose soulful emotive voice and traditionally crafted songs have made her one of the most unique Ugandan female artists of our generation. This weekend, we chill with the sensational Solome Basuuta.
Leaving nothing behind. Tears rolling down. Zawendi, mubwabune mubugaga. Zawendi. Hey guys, so it's your girl Solome Basuuta. Everything love and everything soul. Oh my gosh, so I'm Solome Basuuta. I am a musician, I'm a creative, I'm an actor, I'm a performer, and I'm in Uganda, from Uganda. I started my career in 2015, and since then I have been on this journey. But before all that, I am just a girl, the last born of 5 years. I am a Mugalanda. Nze Solome Basuuta ndi Muganda nedira mamba. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and so I grew up in a home of just really professors and academic, but at the same time they were also creatives. My father is a singer, my mom used to sing, she's a visual artist, and so I grew up in both those spaces happening. And I'm one of those, a lover of arts, a lover of color, a lover of people. I'm all those things where can everything that I do reach someone, you know? Even when I was working in Bank of Uganda, all I was thinking, oh my God, can what I do reach someone out there? So I'm everything reaching the people. So I love doing the arts. I love singing. If you come for any of my shows, you can see I love to sing. And I love to make sure that people feel something as I sing so that they can know they are loved. Everything love with Solome Basuuta. I started from Kampala Kindergarten, Mrs. Mulumba. Then I went to Kitete Primary School. There's a school near the museum by the roadside. Yeah, I know all the anthems. Then I went to Makerere to Gayaza High School. So never give up. Then I transitioned in HSC to Makerere College School. And then after that, I went to Makerere University and did a degree in computer science. I'm a brainy of sorts, you know what I mean? And so I worked in Bank of Uganda until 2015. And 2015, I made the jump into the music industry. And this has been my dream since 2015. And I'm so glad that I made that leap. My parents were seeing me a lot in the music scene already. They had come already for my shows. They had seen me performing so much. So for them to hear that, oh my God, I'm going to do music fully, was a conversation that was not too hard, but it was bittersweet. My parents felt like, no, Solome, you can't do both things, and for parents, it's really about security. And so they felt that, oh, Solome, one day in Bank of Uganda, but keep singing. So the conversation was bittersweet, but along the way, they came on board and they saw that I loved this and I wanted to do this and I was passionate about it. And eventually, they decided to support me. And so my parents have really supported my music. They come for my shows, even when they're allowed. They come for my shows and they support me so well, and I'm really thankful for having such parents in my corner. And so for me, it's been about a lot of learning, guys. And because it's not just about, oh, I have a talent. Talent is amazing, You need to have talent, absolutely. But then you need to add on many other things with the talent. You need to learn the business side of music. You need to learn the work ethic of music. You need to learn marketing. You need to learn all these other things. You know, you need to evolve as an artist. So for me, the journey has been hills and valleys. There have been tough years. Years where I'm thinking, did I make the right decision or was I just playing? You know, and then other times where it's really amazing. But one thing that has been constant in my journey is I am so glad that I am here because I was born to do this. I swear, at 70, you're going to see me touring. No, but I really was born to do this. So I'm so glad that I entered the industry.
What a beautiful moment to feel alive. Come on. The guest we have on the show tonight, as a child, she had been drawn into this enchanting world of music, picking inspirations from different genres, from gospel music to soul. Yeah. But most importantly, besides her most important and most captivating music, she has been spearheading this campaign about mental health, which is very important. That's where I'm going to start from.
Oh, okay.
How important?
That's interesting.
How important is you to create a platform of sorts where you talk about mental illness awareness?
Interestingly, that came up, and it hasn't been very dominant, but it's one of the things that I'm passionate about because in 2019 I kind of experienced a season of anxiety and depression at that time. Yeah. And I'd never known that I could even experience something like that because I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm like you, high energy, high, you know. Africans don't get depressed. Who goes for counseling, behavioral therapy, you know. And so for me, to experience that was very eye-opening. Like, oh my God, it's possible to experience something like that, but also get help. Because eventually, I went for therapy, not out of depression, but I had to deal with Solome. And finding out, okay, who is Solome? Away from, because remember I said I'm a last born. So I used to be like one of those like following, people pleasing, always like putting on yourself things that are not really you. You know, so at a certain point in 2019, music wasn't working. Like I was not engaging in music. I was so withdrawn. My team was saying, Solome, we really don't feel you. There is something off. And I didn't feel it. I was like, no, I'm fine, guys, let's continue. And they said no, and we're heading to do a show. So I said, Solome, stop, go and, you know, find help, something. So my manager at that time said, Solome, I feel you need to go for therapy and just sit down and actually just sit with yourself and find out what's happening. And so in that time, I started therapy. Until now, I still go for therapy. But I think for me, that awareness came in 2019. And to find out that, okay, you know what, there are tools around us that actually you can find help for times when things are really dark. And we all go through so many things, but we don't speak about them, or we are shy, or we feel it's a shame to even come out and say, okay, you know what, I'm depressed. You know that, hey, can you help me out? I need to talk to somebody. And so for me, that kind of interest came in 2019 because I experienced it for myself. And so at that time online, I said coloring, adult coloring. And so I came on and I said, you know what, guys, this is a tool that helped me to deal with anxiety. I no longer, interestingly now, I'm less anxious. Like even that depression has really not really.
Oh, that's good.
Because it has really helped me to have those tools around me and also have people around me who are very supportive, and that's very important. And these days I see a lot of people coming out a lot more open now about their mental health, about emotional health, you know, for us to be healthier and not because we are running after so many things, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're on social media and social media is telling you you're this, you're too tall, why are you putting on blue, why are you putting, cancel culture. There's so much that is coming at us, we know, that affects our mental health and emotional health. So you need to find a way of staying healthy.
So Solome, I'm excited to find out how have you created this safe haven for such kind of people? What have you done?
So I haven't necessarily created a space for people to come.
Okay.
But I do speak about it a lot, mostly on Twitter. Yeah. Each time I get a moment just to check in on people like, okay, what's happening? I haven't done it for the last year or so, but once in a while I do have a moment of like, you know what, how are you? What's happening? And I think mostly, especially when you come into the limelight for anything that you're doing, and you have a platform where people are listening in, it's good to be vulnerable. It's good to say, you know what, today is not a good day.
Yeah.
I am not in my best place today, and I need help. Or, coming out online and saying, okay, guys, today is not a good day. And so there's a time like for a while, I used to come out and say, okay, you guys, today was not a good day, and I've colored. I think I posted it like a few months ago, and I had done coloring, adult coloring. I love it. It sounds very childish, but if you think about it, it's one of those things that kind of, you sit down, you focus, you calm your mind. You don't think about school fees. You don't think about the children.
Yeah.
You don't think it's just you and coloring, and it really, really helps. And so I kind of try and make sure I'm vulnerable enough to my fans, to that space online, so people feel like, you know what, it is okay. And then also I kind of also printed out adult coloring books on my own as Solome Basuuta, and that's something that I also do once in a while. Sell those coloring books to adults to help them.
How does the coloring work?
You just,
because
I know it sounds very like
think of
bougie,
crayons.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm serious, it's really crayons.
Okay.
So I sold my books in 2022, 2023, and I sold it. Interesting, it was mostly ladies who bought, because it's really a women's. I was really targeting women because
I feel like women open up more than we guys do. Yeah.
Why do you do that? Because I know.
Come on, because of insecurities. We don't want to admit that we're failed.
I need help. Oh yeah.
And also, right now there is this notion of I'm okay.
Yeah.
You find somebody.
That's true.
You tweet.
How are you?
WhatsApp them. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
But deep down inside, they have this whole reckoning that they're dealing with. Their world is tearing down. They're dealing with school fees. They're dealing with broken families.
Pressures,
they're dealing with pressure,
divorce.
They're fighting weight. So much.
So much.
So how do these books work?
These books, really, what you do is it's very simple, and usually the things that help us are very simple things. It's nothing complicated. So for me, most of the experience that people have had with my books is, first of all, in there I write a note to the lady that, okay, you are amazing, and a lot of affirmation is really good for anybody.
Is it your love language?
It is my love language.
Give me 5. That's my girl.
Yes.
Word of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. I am like, you write me a letter, I love words of affirmation. So hence me putting words of affirmation in that book. Yeah, so I write, it's in there, and so someone can be affirmed. But then as you get coloring, so you can use crayons, pens, coloring pencils, markers, whatever it is. But the point is, and what that coloring does for you is, first of all, you want to finish the piece. That's it. The other thing is, it gives you freedom to express what you're feeling inside. So if it's a sad day,
that's good.
Most people actually have told me that, you know what, I was feeling sad, and I express myself through the colors.
Oh, wow.
Some people chose black. You can choose whatever color. There is no formula of like, oh, you have to choose red. No, choose whatever color you want.
How about rainbow colors?
It doesn't matter, guys. Choose whatever color, because rainbow is God's thing. Anyway, let's move on. But that's another conversation.
I threw you off.
No, it's fine.
Solome, so are these books still available?
The books are absolutely available. You can reach out to me on my platforms.
Okay.
My contact is there, 0761 330 956.
Repeat that again.
0761 330-956. Reach out to me and we'll deliver those coloring books.
So you're saying these books can work as therapy?
Therapy.
Yeah.
And mostly that's where I really push for that. And a friend of mine even has another space that it's her own space where she helps women, who are dealing with that your child died at childbirth and whatever. So those women, and she was really interested in those books, and we talked about how actually it does, and it's really included in helping someone on their journey of healing. That tool is actually the creative. It can be coloring books, it can be pottery, whatever it is. But actually people, when they use their hands and do something like that, it really helps them.
You know what? Really guess what? I think it's non-colors that do magic according to your standards. Because her music does more therapy than the colors. So when we return after changing location, we are going to talk more about her music, her debut album that she did back in 2015, and her debut concert, and what is happening right now in her world. So we take a break. Chilling back comes right back. Don't go anywhere.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
My guest is a soulful songbird who has stayed dedicated to her craft. Through her music, she has been inspiring people, uplifting people, and she has really become a household name doing that. I'm so delighted to have her on the show today. Man, your music is everything. let's first address that.
Let's start from that.
For the listeners that have listened to your music, they haven't stayed the same.
Yeah.
There's an impact that has caused in their lives. Is it so important for you for people to take your music so seriously?
I know, and yet music should be fun. But I think for me, I think it's because I grew up listening to music that is so wholesome. Let me say wholesome music. Music where the lyrics make sense. You know, you're listening to someone's story, whether it's a love story, whether it's about God, whether it's a heartbreak. You're listening. Like remember, Boys to Men. You know, and someone say, "I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you." Ooh. Like literally, you can see the pictures. You can see what people are painting, and so I think because I grew up like that. So when I was starting out, that's kind of how I wrote my music. Like most of my music are stories about either my life or stories I've heard from people. Like in Subida was a personal story of my best friend. She went through a separation. You know, All In is another. You know, so all of I think my music is stories. I think so that's why it relates to people. Okay. And people feel like, oh my God, I relate to that, and the sound is good and the music is also good to hear. Yeah. So
let's talk about the unveiling. The debut. 2015, not so far away from here, Fairway Hotel. That's golf course where you had a full house. Yeah. Take me through that experience. How was it like, and what did it mean to you by that time?
Man, it meant everything. Guy. To have, first of all, that day I had a concert, and then there was another major musician in the industry. I don't know who it was. My manager remembers things better than I am. But at that time, so it was, and I was a new artist. I was naive. Me and my team were naive people. It was just like, I love music. I had seen friends of mine do concerts before, so I said, let me also do a concert. You know, I love music. And so I didn't know about marketing. I didn't know about social media, with like nothing. Yeah. So literally, we put out a song, I think like 2 months to the show. Then someone actually is the one who advised, put out a song. So we got a single, put out the artwork, no visuals, nothing, just audio. And then after that, we pushed that song. And you guys, it was a sold out concert. People came. It was literally word of mouth. Yeah. You know, TV came through eventually, like when they saw me online, said, come through. NTV was big on pushing, Sanyu FM. So I think for me, it was a good introduction to start the journey, because it started on a good note.
Was it your first time performing before people?
No, it wasn't my first time, because I was in church circle, so I performed before people.
Yeah, but it's such a bigger crowd.
It was big. It was. I cried. I literally cried.
Wasn't it nostalgic for you?
It was.
How did you tame the nerves, and how did you grapple with?
Let me tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because I started my show when I was walking through the aisle singing. Before I walked through the aisle, I started crying at the back, because I was overwhelmed. Like,
that was beautiful.
I can't believe, people are here, people came, the show is happening. And a friend of mine came and held my hand and said, Solome, are you okay? I said, I'm okay. Okay, are you ready? We go. So I was nervous. But then I got onto stage, confidence came in, and the show went on smoothly. But I think for me, it was, no one ever forgets about there, like your first 20,000 or your first anything. That was my first concert, never to forget it, etched in my mind forever.
What is funny is girls never forget the first day they broke their virginity. But funny thing, you never forget the day you had that concert. That's hilarious.
I know, right?
I would pay a penny knowing how your parents' faces were like.
Yeah, and my dad
like?
and my
what was their reaction
front
like?
row seat.
You're kidding.
My dad and mom were there.
Were they proud of you?
They were so proud. They said, Solome. But no, I want to be so cool. You know, they were like in shock. And I said, yeah, and they were so proud of me. So proud.
Solome, it's sort of nuts. It's bananas.
It's sort of
when you think about somebody dropping a full-time college job to starting singing, why did you decide to take that, I call it a leap of faith?
Yeah, I think it has really paid off in terms of I'm fulfilled, I'm happy, and I am doing exactly what I was. Like I'm not thinking like, is this where I'm supposed to be? And most people, all of us are asking that question. Why am I here on earth? What am I supposed to do on this? I have found what I'm supposed to do on this earth and I'm doing it. And so for me, already I am successful in that area. So I'm so glad that I made that move. It was scary. I can't lie. It was so scary. I asked a lot of questions. I asked people around me for advice. I talked to my supervisor at that time in the bank. So the move was not without advice or knowledge, but it was, as you said, a leap. Literally, I jumped off the cliff, not knowing if, will I be safe on the other side? But it was scary, but I've learned to do things now. I have a muscle. Do it scared. It will be fine eventually. It may be hard, but it will be fine.
You come from a family of scholars.
Your
dad is a mathematician. Your teacher is a mathematician. I is still a teacher in Makerere. But they must have felt like, it must have been hard.
It was hard because they didn't expect, because my sibling who I follow works in Stanbic Bank. But also he's an Olympian. He's called Ganzi Mugula. So he's done
Sportsman.
both. Sportsman. Yeah. And so he's done both those things at the same time. Still does both those things at the same time. So it was a shock to my parents, because they was thinking, but your brother has done two things. Why can't you remain and do two things? But at that time, I was naive. I was like, no, I'm passionate. I want to do that. But with hindsight, either way, I think with wisdom now, I would have made the jump maybe a little later. I'm thankful I did the jump. I was not married, I didn't have kids. The risk was good enough.
Okay.
But now thinking behind, I'm thinking, you know what, still, as you're building a dream, either way, you still need to have something on the side until the dream becomes so big that it can really run your life in a great way.
Being the accountant that you are, let's do this.
Let's
do this.
Yeah, I know,
Let's do this.
I know.
Let's break down the number of albums you have, starting from the debut album and up to now. Which one is which? So
I know.
Do you even have an EP in between? Yeah. So what is it? What is that musical calculation with you?
I have a debut album called The Song Love, which is on any platform, came out in 2015. And then since then, I released singles. You know, there's so many singles that came from there, and they take, All In, Insubira, Sukuma, Wendy. And then come 2022, I released another body of work, but a smaller one, which is an EP called Let Me Love You. And that one is completely dedicated to everything sensual and sultry, to kind of get people. You know, sometimes as Africans or Ugandans, generally speaking, we struggle with romance. We struggle with intimacy. Sometimes we don't know how to show it to our partners, you know. And so on the wedding night or whatever, what are the songs? Should we choose a gospel song? So I said, you know what? Let's create, I call it the gospel of love. Let's create something that's really dedicated for people to celebrate love in a sensual, intimate, and romantic way. So that's the EP, Let Me Love You. And so that's the latest project in terms of albums and EPs.
How do you find sanity? Like,
what is sanity?
Doing gospel music and secular at the same time. I mean, a lot of people fail to do that at the same time.
I know. And interestingly, I don't see, I know most people say gospel and secular. I don't see boxes. I don't see boxes, truthfully. I've learned not to see boxes.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I feel that music had a creator, and he didn't have a box. It is secular. It's art that is expressed in so many different dimensions. So definitely gospel, because I'm a church girl, and definitely my faith and my foundation in God is absolute. And so forever, that is going to be my root and where everything comes from. So I sing gospel, but also my other root that comes from still my church girl is a celebration of love in all its facets.
Okay.
And so if I can go on this side, the spiritual side, we have a book in the Bible, Song of Solomon, that is very sensual and very romantic and very intimate. You know, I'm dying for your love. Your love is like fire. Oh my gosh. And so I don't find it hard to sing about love and sing about it in a very sensual and romantic way, because for me, all that is art and all that is music.
Congratulations! I should tap on your shoulders. I mean, you have a show coming out.
I know, right?
I mean, but it has always been there, actually.
Yes,
you have had these conversations with people. And tell me about your show. People need to know about this show that is coming up.
Solome Live is a show that I began last year, and I was doing it weekly. It kept changing different venues and all that. But so why I decided to come back this year, bigger, do it once a month, so that I take time to prepare and all that, and give my fans a good buffet of great entertainment and music. So it's once a month, and it happens at a place called Salama Spring Apartments in Bugolobi.
Okay.
So it's coming back. The first show of the year is 1st May, starts at 8 p.m. And it's really a great night of love. Like I'm saying, everything love and everything soul. Yeah. So by the time you leave that night, you'll have proposed, you'll have forgiven, you'll have said, you know what, I hate men, but now I think it's okay. Let somebody come in my life.
Man,
you know,
she's our ray of hope.
God is alive here, so Solome Life is happening.
Picture this. A candle night moment. I like that. With champagne on the side, with ice. And then you're in the bedroom. Oh, on pause, this is a PJ show.
But I like where you are going.
Thank you very much for your time. How do people follow you?
Oh my God. So if you want to follow me on any platform, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, whatever it is, TikTok, Solome Basuuta, Basuuta. If you want to reach out to me, Solome Basuuta, same name, @gmail.com.
There you have it, from the princess herself. See you next week with another incredible guest. It has been yours truly, Drago. Bye.
How did we reach this point? How did we reach this place? Why do we keep testing each other, hurting each other